Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. There is some major things to talk about, so let's jump right in. I started watching Slow Horses on Apple TV. This is the sort of spy, kind of slow burn spy story. Well, sort of a slow burn spy story. Starring Gary Oldman and a cast of other folks. Basically, it's like about a hotshot MI6 like up and coming agent who fucks up on the job in in a simulation, basically, and he ends up potentially killing like 100 people or whatever, going after this terrorist. Turns out it was not his fault, but he then gets busted down to this like shitty little outfit of MI5 or MI6 agents, and basically they uncover some like major thing that's going on. So it's like you're trying to figure out what the sort of kind of spy versus spy kind of thing is. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I think you would like it, Michael, a lot.
It sounds like the most intense episode of Northern Exposure ever.
Very intense. It's like the beginning sequence is not the same as the rest of the show. The beginning sequence feels like that show. What was it? The Bodyguard, the dude from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That show was like, why am I sweating for no reason? Like, this is too intense. But it slows down from there. But then, like, as things start to unravel, it gets pretty good. By like the end of the second episode, you're like, oh shit, like this is pretty serious. But it's really good. It's really good. I would like, once again, another Apple TV series that kind of flew under the radar. That's like pretty top quality. So if you like sort of spy stories and stuff like that, I mean, you like James Bond and shit like that. I mean, there's no, fancy watches and stuff like that, but it is a good like British spy series. I think you would.
I don't need gadgets and shit.
There are none. They're just like rooting around in people's garbage trying to figure out if they're a terrorist or not. But I think you would dig it. I think both of you would dig it. But Micah, you being such a huge James Bond person, I think you would really like it.
Excellent.
Do you guys have anything else for checked out before we go on?
Nothing new.
Did I watch anything? No, nothing. Nothing worth talking about.
Okay.
But yeah. So let's move on. Michael Gandolfini is joining Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio in Daredevil: Born Again. If that name sounds familiar, Michael Gandolfini is the son of James Gandolfini, the dude from that movie with Elaine Bennis. That's what he's known for.
He might have been in some other things,
maybe, but you should probably remember him from that. The Daredevil Born Again is written and executive produced by Covert Affairs creator Matt Corman and Chris Ord. The new installment centers on Cox's title character Daredevil, otherwise known as Matt Murdock, who is an attorney by day, crime fighter by night. Nobody knows what Michael Gandolfini is going to who he's going to be. Who do you think? Do you have enough Daredevil knowledge to pluck somebody out of your head as to who this might be?
No idea.
The only characters around Daredevil that I know are all women. So
and Foggy.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll be Foggy.
No, I can't imagine them replacing those actors. Like that would be crazy. So,
yeah, but I don't know. Let's hope they do replace a couple other actors if they're going to be bringing the Netflix shows over to the MCU proper.
I've only seen him in The Many Saints of Newark.
He was fine. Yeah, was he fine? Does he do a good impression of his dad, you think?
He was like a teenager. So I mean
as best
he
you
looks
could
like his
imagine.
fucking father.
He does.
Like
he
that'd
does.
be that's pretty. That's all that mattered, honestly.
All right. Well, there you go. I mean, look, maybe he's got the potential to be as great as his dad as an actor. I don't know. I was talking to somebody about when this news broke. If James Gandolfini had not died, years prior, he would have also made an excellent Kingpin. Like that would have been a really good choice for Kingpin as well. A little typecast, of course, but I think he would have nailed that role as well. So here's hoping.
Next up, this is a rumor. I will say that right now. This is
no, it isn't.
This is a rumor. Aaron Taylor Johnson is reportedly going to be James Bond.
This is a wild rumor, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
The fact that you don't know how you feel about it means I support it 100%. That's a wild rumor for him to be the guy. Like, even in the running, is not a person I would have considered.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's an all right actor,
That's pretty good. Like, what if he was James Bond with this hair?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, this picture ain't helping, yo. Like this,
right?
This the one. This the one.
And things like that. But I want him to have that hair if they're gonna end up fucking having him. Yeah, as James Bond.
Yeah, I want him to blend into the douche, the whatever douche cult he's infiltrating. Now that's wild casting. I think he could do it, but
I mean, look, it don't take much to be James Bond, right? You got to look good in a suit, right? And you got to be charming. And this dude is charming.
Yeah, he is.
Look, I'm not against it. I just I think it's mainly this picture. I think it's mainly this picture.
I feel like that's why they picked the picture, yo. Like, I feel like they picked that picture on purpose to just like kind of piss people off. Like, here's your new James Bond. Like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Like, he's the right age. He's the right age to get to. He's like in his early 30s.
Oh, no,
32.
Oh wow, he's early 30s.
Yeah,
wow.
he's 32.
Okay,
yeah,
older than.
So he's prime age to get like to do this for if they really like him, he could do this for like 15 years. And before he starts getting anywhere close to being long in the tooth. So if they're going to have a James Bond with a big run, yeah, he's at the right age. I mean, he's got the look, right? I mean, the look to be James Bond is white. I just know there's really no other qualifications, apparently. I think he's a decent actor.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sent you a picture of what some people are posting as the image for him as James Bond. I'm like,
I mean,
it's a bit douchey. It's a bit douchey. I gotta tell you, but
and that's the thing, yo. Like Daniel Craig's run as James Bond, he has it has kind of evolved from like Thug Bond to like
Thug Bond.
Well, not by the end. He wasn't Thug Bond by the end. He was very much like I don't want to say woke Bond because like no one knows what that word means anymore. But he wasn't like this sexist, misogynist dinosaur to quote Dame Judi Dench. Right. And if they go back, I'm curious how they will portray James Bond again. Like, are they going to go back to him being like the sexist, misogynist dinosaur? Are they going to? I don't know. I don't know. Are they going to have a douchey James Bond? Like this picture that you sent us looks real like
it's a bit douchey. It's a bit douchey, yo. Like it is.
It just looks silly.
But like
he looks like he hangs out with the Paul brothers in this picture.
Oh, like Logan Paul.
Like,
yeah.
Logan and Jake Paul.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that.
I don't want that for James Bond, right? I don't want James Bond to be like a Paul brother, like Barnacle. You know what I mean?
Now, like I sent you, here's another picture of him like weirdly clean shaven, like a black Republican. Like that kind of looks like James Bond to me, like a young James Bond. Like that's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I could see that. So let me see if I can put it up on the screen.
Again, just look good in a suit. Like that's all
That's
you really
it.
need.
That's quite literally in for most people, like you said, just be a white guy, and they're like, got it, nailed it.
I mean, people were upset that Daniel Craig was blonde and had blue eyes. So,
I knew somebody who was like, I'm not going to see those movies. I was like, because of that, like that is that's a weird choice, man. But all right, if you say so, like that shit is weird to me, but some people, that's the bullshit they're on. Okay, like it's fine. I'm not like, again, it's just not a person. Here you go, right? Like you can kind of
he looks good there. He looks good there.
Yeah,
he looks like a James Bond there.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Like I'm not mad about it. But it's just a weird. He's a name I had not heard, and when I saw that, I was like, Quicksilver? What the hell are you talking about?
Excuse me, Craven as James Bond? What?
Yeah, they might want to make that choice before that movie comes out. I'm just saying, like, you always want to have your projects ahead of time. Like, you want to nail that. You don't want to announce that after that movie comes out, because no matter how bad or good that movie is, and it ain't gonna be, people are gonna be like, he can't play James Bond now. Like, nah, you gotta already announce it, get people used to it, and then be like, and here's the trailer for Craven, don't look at it. Like that, you got to get that shit out of the way. Always book your project before the latest one comes out. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's just not what I would have expected. How tall is he? That's another one, because Daniel Craig is not a tall man. Let's see. 5'11". All right, he's close enough.
That's too tall. That's too tall. That feels like he's looking down on me as a viewer. I don't care for that. When are we gonna fine? They don't have him as a sexist dinosaur. When are we gonna finally have a James Bond that represents me? Someone who's
a squat James Bond.
Yeah. When are we going to have someone of average height? That's what I want to know. A suave, debonair, shorter man. I think it's high time. I think we get short James Bond first. A couple decades later, we get a black James Bond, right? Then you work your way down.
Look, if they could pull off a short James Bond, they can do literally anything.
Didn't they? Wasn't Tom Hardy supposed to be James Bond at one point?
He was in the running,
He was in the running. He was in the running.
Yeah, see? You don't have to be tall.
That's shorter than Daniel Craig.
Yo, 5'9" James Bond is kind of wild. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, well, that's why they didn't pick Tom Hardy. Well, also, you can't understand what the fuck he's talking about half the time. I mean, it's true. What is it? There was a story that he's the hardest person to understand of any like British actor. Like they were just like, we don't get it. So okay. Going from Kick-Ass to James Bond is kind of wild though. What a career arc that is. All right, next up. Got a lot here. The Rock's Black Adam box office damage control is embarrassing. I didn't say it.
Yeah,
Gizmodo said it. No, I didn't, yo. That's the Gizmodo headline, yo. That's the Gizmodo. I would like to just point out that this show, the Nerdpocalypse, collectively would like to release a dude, we told you. Like, we were ahead of the curve. Y'all just getting here. It turns out this nigga's annoying. Yeah, we told you, yo. Like, we told you months ago. People are like, hey, it turns out The Rock's got a really, like, fragile ego and is being really obnoxious. Yeah, we know. Like, did you think all the bullshit run up to this movie was a happenstance? A few days ago, Variety reported that Dwayne Johnson's led Black Adam movie was looking like it would fail to return much of a profit, if any. Deadline has come out with a piece stating that Variety's article was wrong, actually, and that it was doing fine at the box office. No. The Rock went to Twitter like a completely reasonable adult would, who can bench press, 300 pounds, would say, waited to confirm with financiers before I shared this excellent hashtag Black Adam news. Our film will profit between $52 and $72 million. Fact. At almost $400 million worldwide, we are building our new franchise step by step. First Captain America did $370 million for the DC future. 1, Captain America: The First Avenger, lower budget than your movie. 2, you're not even in. You're purposely not looking at inflation. $370 million back then is not $370 million now. It's like $409 million or something like that, or $490, I think it is. The fact that you have to tweet this tells me that you are scared that your movie is
very. It's very Trumpian, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, 100%. This is very embarrassing.
This is very little dick energy, yo. Like,
$52 million is not a good profit for a fucking superhero movie.
It is not.
It's kind of trash. It's kind of terrible, actually. It's awful, actually, because these movies make so much money.
Yeah, and like, I love how you had to go back to a Phase 1 movie called Captain America: The First Avenger. That's the movie you got to compare it with?
People don't even, that's my favorite Phase 1 movie, personally.
That's great.
But a lot of people, I'm not going to say they don't like it, but they're like, that's not their top. That's not in their top.
No, it isn't. Like, again, the budget for that movie was $140 million. The budget for Black Adam, they're now saying, is roughly, in another article we'll talk about, was roughly $230 million. It's almost $100 million more. So what the fuck are you comparing your movie to? Here's an idea. Why don't you compare your movie to Shazam, dog?
Like Man of Steel.
That's a better comparison.
Yeah. That was the
Someone
first
apparently
movie.
did compare it. Someone apparently did compare it to Man of Steel, and Man of Steel made a profit of approximately $42 million.
Really? But it made $668 million, and it was a $225 million budget.
Yeah, but how much was that marketing? Right? Like, the marketing budgets for those movies is never included in that number. And Man of Steel, considering it's the new Superman movie, I bet it was close to $100 million. I wouldn't be surprised. But Black Adam had a huge push. I bet it probably was close to $100 million in marketing alone. So even on the light side, you're talking at least, there's talk that in order for Black Adam to break even, it had to make $600 million, which means it's roughly cost, at the end of the day, about $300 million. So, okay. Why don't you compare your movie to another DC movie? Why don't you compare it to Aquaman?
Aquaman made $1 billion, didn't it?
It did. It did, in fact. So, just saying. And it wasn't great.
I was saying this is good because, it was too loud. But did they say...
Turn it down.
Was it because this is like a brand new character that they're bringing into the DC EU that he's like, oh, we did 62 million new character. Yay. Is that what it is? Because like all of the other characters are established. I mean, Aquaman wasn't necessarily established, right? Was he?
No. Not really. I mean, he was in
Wonder Woman wasn't, but everyone knows these characters. I don't know. That's just a poor. No, it's terrible. Just all around.
It's
$72 million. Like that's opening weekend.
Yeah, this is. Here's my thing, yo. If you just stay humble, like you always claim that you're staying humble, like yo, just stay humble.
Shut the
yo.
fuck up. How about that?
I mean, that's
just stop talking, nigga.
Like
that's it.
If you, like you said, if you just stay humble, people would just let it slide. They're just like, all right, it did all right.
Yeah, man. Like, and guess what? Most people don't care, yo. Most people don't care. They care. They care if another movie's coming out. The people that like that movie care if another movie's coming out. That's it. Like nobody cares about how much money you made. What kind of gauche ass shit is that?
It really like. I don't generally like to even play in that world because it's useless. Ultimately, it's useless. Like, okay, you said that it was going to change the dynamics of the entire universe. All right.
Yeah, yo, like the power hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change. Well, I mean, not financially, bro. Fucking the power hierarchy apparently is Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yo, it didn't make as much money. I'm pretty sure it didn't make as much money as Shazam made. Like it didn't. By the way, Black Adam on HBO Max in 7 days.
Well,
Good
you
luck.
get to watch it again.
It beat Shazam
No?
by 20 million.
Oh,
Almost
okay.
20 million so far.
And what was the budget for Shazam versus this? Shazam wasn't $300 million.
It was 100 million.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So Shazam was a third of the cost. A third of the cost.
But that's
And they didn't market that movie damn near at all. They were like, Shazam's coming out. Like, go see it or whatever. Like,
they don't even have the budget for this movie on Box Office Mojo.
for
Black
what?
Adam. Black Adam.
Probably because it's too early. So sometimes the studios release it, sometimes they don't. But there's a number of articles of like people who work at Warner Brothers are like, it was actually $230 million. Yeah. And yeah, this movie was so good and making so much money, that's why they're not even considering making a sequel. Black Adams with a $sign at the end. That's my pitch for the sequel, guys. Imagine if
They're
we
doing
had...
a sequel, by the way. They're doing a sequel to this movie. Like, they are.
Nah, yo, it ain't gonna be Black Adam 2. He might show up in something, but it ain't gonna be Black Adam. What's the sequel gonna be? What is it about?
I think they're going to do a sequel to this movie. And I think it will be him versus Superman through some, stupid
what year is this
try.
coming out? 2029?
2029? No, dude. What's 2022 plus 15, bro? Like that's what these movies. That's generally the length it takes to make these movies.
Yeah.
No,
at this point, it can't be within the next 2 years for him fighting.
Well, this
Superman.
is what's going to be very interesting, right? All of this, like, I've been fighting to get this movie made. I really want to make Black Adam. I really want to do it. I really want to do it. Yo, if this isn't coming out in like 2 to 3 years, like all that was bullshit. Like if you care about something, like that dude comes off as very passionate, right? Yes. So if you really cared about it, you would make they're going to make another one. And this thing would come out sooner rather than later. Because guess what? Like you look good and all that, but you're in your 50s, bro. You're in your 50s.
Yeah, how many times you gonna do this?
Yeah, you can't be, you're in your 50s, bro. And it doesn't look, you don't look very superhero-ish when you got like roadmap of lines all on your face. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
You're an asshole.
Well, look, he's an asshole.
Right, and he brought up Captain America, but they had a whole plan. Marvel had an entire plan. They were like, yeah, these movies are coming out and we're bringing everyone together for a specific movie. There's just no plan yet for the DC.
Yeah, this was like at the end of that first plan. Right. This was
I think it was like wasn't the next movie the fucking Avengers? What came out right?
Yeah.
But what came?
Yeah, it was the last one before Avengers, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have a plan. You have no plan. You don't know what the fuck is going on. And that movie fucking sucked, yo. Even what's his name was kind of terrible in that movie. Black nigga. What's his name?
Aldous Hodge?
Oh,
he was awful. I didn't like him in that role.
He was doing this weird John Wayne thing. Like, well, heroes don't kill people. What the fuck? You don't talk like that, yo.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why is it that DC makes like random actors talk like that? They did that with in the first Suicide Squad with
Rick Flag.
Yeah, with Rick Flag. This is Katana. Yo, I've watched you in other things. Yo.
People from military backgrounds don't all sound like John Wayne.
It's weird. It's a weird thing that they, for some reason, they keep putting in the notes. Speak like that racist John Wayne.
Jesus Christ! What's going to happen when Jon Stewart gets on screen? Because he was in the military. In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. What the fuck? What are you doing?
Why don't you just hire Kurt Russell to do his impression from Big Trouble in Little China? Like, that's all you need. That's the only time that version of a fake John Wayne accent made sense and worked. Which wasn't The Rock supposed to remake that movie and ruin it?
Yeah, he was supposed to remake that.
Yeah, please don't. No, please don't.
Jack Burton.
No, yo, I don't want. Yeah, he at one point, I think people were like, "Don't do that." Because one, do you get that that guy is supposed to be the idiot? Like, you're supposed to be the butt of the jokes, You're not the hero.
Yeah, he's the guy that comes in, thinks he knows everything, but actually doesn't.
Right.
Like he's the white man coming into this Asian culture thinking, I'm going to fucking fix everything, and he's a buffoon.
Yeah. No,
he won't be that. He won't be that if The Rock is Jack Burton.
No, the Chinese dude was the badass. Like that's right. That whole story. God damn it. No, please don't make that movie. Please don't make that movie. God, you're going to ruin it. And also it's going to come off as super offensive because people don't understand satire anymore. So just don't. Just fucking don't. Look, I think the other aspect of this story, which I actually find really interesting, is a person who I don't think is mentioned in this, or does not get enough credit for why things are going the weird way they're going, which is Danny Garcia. Look, I think Danny Garcia is a perfectly fine agent, I guess, producer, whatever. She's very successful. She's worked with The Rock and everything else.
Tons of fucking projects. Right.
I think her being so tightly tied now to The Rock and Henry Cavill in this push to get Superman, and that's not a good idea, dude. That's a bad idea. And that's how he got, I don't know if him moving over to Danny Garcia is the reason, Henry Cavill I'm speaking of, is the reason that was the move, hey, we'll bring you back as Superman, but you got to go over to Danny Garcia or whatever. I don't know. But it feels like, does Henry Cavill need Danny Garcia? Isn't he super popular enough to have a different agent than The Rock? But maybe they see it as The Rock is making huge amounts of money, but they seem to be picking shit projects. So I don't know.
The last really good, well, I'm not going to say really good movie that he was in, but what was the last good movie he was in? That was this was really dope, The Rock. And then that's his ex, right? That's his ex-wife.
Yeah, his ex-wife, yeah. It's a bit weird.
Is that a good thing?
It's a bit weird. It always felt a bit weird to me.
I mean, I don't know.
She's not sabotaging his career.
No, they're making big money.
They're making a bunch of money, but it's in a bunch of garbage. That's the problem.
I mean, but whose fault is that?
I'd like quality over quantity.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But they're leveraging that dude's star power. He's a movie star.
Yeah,
he's a movie star. Right? And God, I wish you guys have seen the menu. There's a character in the menu.
All right,
John Leguizamo's character, and he's a movie star who just makes bad movies. And
The Rock. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, and that's kind of what this is. And he's there. I don't want to tell you why he's there, but you'll know when you see it. And anyway, they're leveraging that guy's. Quentin Tarantino's oh, there are no movie stars. The Rock is a movie star.
Yeah,
he's famous for being in movies, not acting. You know what I mean?
Right. No, what he means to say is there's no movie stars that he likes. There are I don't like that. There's this argument there used to go to see a Denzel movie or Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. People went and saw that shit because Tom Cruise, right? There are still movie stars. The Rock, like you said, is a movie star. He is. Not a good one, but he is a movie star.
Yeah.
So look, I get not.
I really like John Leguizamo. I think he's an excellent actor.
I think he's very good. He was good as Bruno in Contact.
From The Pest.
No, I can't watch that movie. I can't watch that movie, yo. He makes me want to punch him in the face. Like, nah, yo. Which is the point.
Yeah.
The first Jumanji movie was good.
Those movies, I've never seen them, but everybody says those are good.
First Jumanji movie was good. And the next one that I've seen is Skyscraper.
It's not a good movie, but I love it.
It's not a good movie, but I love it. That's the movie that a movie star should be in.
Yeah.
I'm very upset that The Rock can be in can have movies on his resume like Skyscraper, but Gerard Butler isn't as famous as The Rock.
That's true. His whole career is skyscraper movies. Like they are. All of them are skyscraper movies. Look, I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Faster, Walking Tall, but these are all his older movies.
I still think the best movie he ever made was The Rundown, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love The Rundown.
The Rundown is like a solid ass movie. It is. And that's when he didn't look ridiculous.
Not a big fan of Doom.
Never saw it in its entirety. No.
Yeah, neither have I.
Had a first person sequence at the end of it.
I've seen
first person.
Yeah, I've seen it too. It's fucking terrible. That was enough for me to not watch that movie. No, fuck off.
Oh, Moana was good.
Yeah, Moana is good, but
I actually like it on Moana, but you know,
he was good in that. But that also requires him to not be like, if you never saw that movie, the whole point of that movie is like he's not the hero. Like he's thought to be the hero, and then he's like, I'm out, and then like the young girl Moana is the actual hero of the story. Like, but it requires him to like not to be the hyper focus of things. But yeah, look, I don't think you're getting the Black Adam 2. I don't think so. No, I think he may show up in something else, but I don't think you're getting the Black Adam 2.
I think, well, look, you might be right because he doesn't really do a lot of sequels. So you might be right.
He wants to do a sequel.
Yeah, because that like franchise money is like that's how you get really rich. Right?
Like the character he was born to play. Right?
That's a wild statement to say. Yeah, that's a wild statement to say.
And that's what I'm saying. If you don't get another one, like then maybe people will realize that that's all bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
why are they waiting? You don't get it yet? What are you waiting on?
I don't know.
But again, stop hyping your movie through the fucking moon, Like, it's unnecessary.
Well, get ready, because he's gonna play Callum Drift in Red One, a Christmas comedy.
I thought you were joking. When you said that name, I thought you were joking.
Callum Drift.
Okay. All right.
No, this is, you know what it is? This is his Jingle All the Way. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's his Jingle All the Way. He's just trying to follow Schwarzenegger's map poorly. Work with good directors, Just work with good directors,
And like, if you think about it, how many really good movies did Schwarzenegger have?
Not many. Hey, guess what? All of them. You know who he worked with? James Cameron.
James Cameron, right?
Right. It's not this one.
You better jump in an Avatar fucking suit, nigga.
Yeah. But that's the thing is. The reason why people remember the Schwarzenegger movies for what they are is because he worked with the best director of that era. It's not because Schwarzenegger's a great actor. He's not. But then he was like, all right, I'm going to do Predator and Terminator 2, 3, 7.
And his most famous role from James Cameron, arguably one of the better directors, his most famous role was playing a robot.
Right. Because James Cameron knew his range.
He was
running. It's like this motherfucker. I mean, you can speak the language, but like you can't emote through the language, bro. Like you're gonna be a robot.
Yeah, and like it's hilarious. Like a shitty director would have been like, "Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's really popular. We'll make him Kyle Reese." No, like no. Don't do that. Wow. Make him the robot. And that is in fairness to James Cameron, that's where he's smart. He knew that guy's range, and then he gave him a role that worked for him. The same with Gunn with Dave Bautista. Like he understands that Drax, even though Drax in the comics isn't like Drax in the movie, changed the character to work with the actor better. That like he's really bad at understanding sarcasm shit. Like, it works super well for Dave Bautista, and he nails it, and that's why he's a fan favorite. You know, not just directing doesn't just mean turning the camera on. It actually means you have to understand who you're working with. The guy from not Jumanji, was it Riverboat or whatever the fuck movie, Jungle Cruise? Yeah, maybe he doesn't quite get that yet. So, oh well. But I'm going out on a limb here and saying you ain't getting Black Adam 2. Speaking of things you're not getting Wonder Woman 3 either. And you know, new information came out today. Apparently, director of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, Patty Jenkins, it was initially reported through the Hollywood Reporter that she turned in her script treatment for Wonder Woman 3, and they were like, no, this is not going to work with our plan. Turns out it was later reported that she just turned in a bunch of scrap pieces of paper, like, here's my plan. And they were like, what even is this? This is
like,
not
can
working.
You rewrite this, please. And she was
yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
She walked off.
Yeah. She refused to take notes. And by the way, when people were like, oh, it's James Gunn and Peter Safran, they threw her out. Nah, what? No, they didn't. It's the other people at DC were like, no. They wanted to pass her treatment over to Safran and Gunn, and she didn't want to hear their notes. Like, fuck them. They ain't been here. They're new. I'm not going to listen to them. I'm out. Okay, well, leave. Like, we saw the movie you made last time. It stunk. Like, so apparently Wonder Woman 3 was in the same vein as
84?
As 84.
What? Ooh, boy.
You think she tried to bring Chris Pine back one more time? That helped carry that movie? Carry Gal Gadot over the finish line like he did in the first movie? I hate to say that.
She want to have Wonder Woman rape another man? And
I can't remember. Crazy. But you fine, so it's okay. Like, that's not okay. Like, that's if those roles were reversed, there would have been a million articles written about why Wonder Man is a piece of shit. He should never be on screen again. Rightfully so. God, that second movie was a piece of garbage. Look, I am okay with this. I don't know what they're going to do, whether they just get someone else to come in and write and direct Wonder Woman 3, or if they just move Wonder Woman into another movie, you know, where she can get explored there, until they can figure that out. But as of right now, Wonder Woman 3 is not happening, and Patty Jenkins is done with DC. Okay. Right. Sad.
Look, I like that first Wonder Woman movie. I still do. I think it's actually a really good movie up until like the last little bit of it, where like
Zack Snyder decided.
It feels like a totally different movie. But for the most part, that movie was very, very good. There were so many different stories you could tell before you jumped all the way to 1984 from World War One. When did World War One?
Yeah, it's
World War Two.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. The I don't even mind like the tonal shift, right? It just was a little too cheesy, a little too campy. What a disappointment.
Yo, I rewatched that scene where she's fighting on the road. It's got to be one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in an action movie. Oh, look, there's some Muslim kids. I better save them. Whoop. Terrible. It is very interesting to me that what they are planning on doing, what is clear is they have a plan. I think they're delivering it this week or something like that. This week, next week, to Zaslav, Peter Safran and James Gunn of like, this is the plan for the DC universe for the next 5 to 10 years, right? This is the roadmap. I feel like in this article it says like one of the ideas that's being floated is that you're going to give these folks like one last ride. All these like Zack Snyder actors, like everybody gets one last ride. Cool, we done. Maybe you get a Justice League, and then that part of the universe is done. It is dead. They start over. the other idea is like, no, we're done now. Right now. Once Aquaman comes out, that is the end of this shit. We are going to just I don't know if it's a full reboot with new actors or what, but they're just going to be like, boom, here's the line. We're done with all this Snyderverse like hangover shit. Another thing in the article that I thought was interesting is that there's talk that like after Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom comes out, Jason Momoa is done as Aquaman. But there is talk that he wants to play Lobo, and like that's the role he really wants to play. And Gunn is like
he auditioned for it in Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. He's like, I could just be a little whiter with some like black hair paint.
I'll just pee on it.
I mean,
man could just pee on it.
Like, I mean, all right, bro. But it fits that character way better, honestly. Like, I don't even think he has to put in that much work to play Lobo. I think he could like,
play Aquaman. We just transplant it into the same character. Just put white face paint on.
Yeah,
like I said.
Yeah, like you don't even have to change them my man. Like you don't have to change anything. Like it's fine. You don't have to do anything. And actually, it might be kind of fun to then do Man of Steel and make him the villain of that. Like, why not? Because Lobo is a Superman villain. Or at least he's fought Superman a number of times. But yeah, the talk is that he may just move over to that role after he's done with Aquaman, keeping him in the DC universe. Frankly, that makes a lot more sense than Aquaman for Jason Momoa. I didn't hate his Aquaman by any means. But I wouldn't mind them just fully rebooting this and getting a new actor to play that character. At all. I would not mind that. And what are your thoughts on the Aquaman stuff?
I like the idea of a different, fresh take on Aquaman. I think there are other takes on Aquaman that you can do. But it was refreshing. But now when you say Jason Momoa wants to play Lobo, like retroactively, that's all I see. It's just Lobo wearing Aquaman armor. Look, I think it's time to just kind of firmly, make a statement and just like we're resetting. We're resetting for the final time. This is a new era. Yeah. This is it. You can even branch off of Black Adam. Black Adam can be your starting point. It can be your soft reset. And,
How so? What do you mean by that?
So
because we still have the Flash. Don't forget that.
Explain yourself.
So with Black Adam, you have a new team set up. You still, much like how The Suicide Squad was a sequel but a soft reboot.
Right.
I think Black Adam can be a soft reboot for this whole thing, right? If you want, we established that. Let's say we can get Henry Cavill to stay on as Superman. Like that'll be the one character that everybody agrees they love, but he got a raw deal.
Yeah,
right?
He did. Jesus.
We can jump from there, do a proper Superman sequel, because we know that Superman is firmly established in this Black Adam era of the DC universe.
Right.
Get a new Superman. Okay. Get a new Superman and make him the traditional Superman that we all know and love and want, even if we say we don't want it. We need to establish the truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, or the American way Superman, before we can start splintering off and having different versions of evil Superman and all that shit. Like we need a feel good, like Captain America shouldn't be that for the comic book movie genre.
Yeah, it's a little
weird.
Superman. Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's kind of like, look, I love Captain America, but he ain't Superman, yo. So establish Superman, right? We have a Batman. Do we want to use that Batman? Maybe not. But I don't think they would. But we have a Batman. I don't think they would. I think you could, but I don't think they would.
I don't
we
think
have a
Matt.
Batman.
I'm not sure Matt Reeves would allow it. I would love if they did, but I don't think so. Unfortunately,
If you can establish a Superman, a proper Superman, a Superman that everybody loves, he can then go around and form a Justice League, or he can be the Iron Man. Hey, going around saying, "Hey, I've seen you. Look, they call me Superman, but I'm only one guy. I need help. I want to form a league of superheroes, and I need your help, right?" And then you can do it's. I mean, it's the same formula, right? It's the same. It's the same formula, but it's proven. It will work.
It would work.
And have Superman be your POV Iron Man type.
Yep.
Like Iron Man was a C-lister, yo. Nobody knew who the fuck Iron Man was. People thought Iron Man was Latin because they watched a 90s cartoon. Okay? Like nobody knew who that guy was.
Donde está Smelter?
And he's a household name now.
Right.
You trying to tell me you can't do that with Superman?
Right.
Just have Superman go show up in other people's movies. Hey, I'm putting a team together. Hey, Barry, you seem like a good kid. I'm fast, but I'm not as fast as you. I need you to help me. Then you can do your Flash movie. You can do your individual movies, connect them with Superman, and then some shit goes down, and bam, here it is. You do a Green Lantern movie. Superman is just flying around in space. He sees what the fuck is going on, and he's like, "Hey, bro." And then the last person you get is Batman, because everyone loves Batman.
Yeah, you got to say
the last person you get is Batman.
Well, and it would make sense, right? From a narrative perspective, Superman wouldn't seek out a human being. He would seek out other his level heroes to be like, we can save these people. And then it's like, who the fuck is this dude in Gotham, like kicking the shit out of everybody? Like, wow, people really fear this guy. He goes down, same initial story as BVS.
From BVS, yeah.
Right. You're like, yo, I don't trust this guy. This guy seems like a criminal. Then, he takes kind of a step back and it's like, oh, this dude is actually doing real good. Okay, got it. He goes to recruit him. Initially, Batman is like, because like the first act is, who the fuck is this guy? Second act is, oh, okay, this guy's a good guy. Hey, Batman, why don't you join up? Batman's like, eat shit, fuck off. I don't trust any of you, right? Like, you guys are all potential, villains. How do I know you're worth a damn to join up with? And then in the third act, they have a common thing. He realizes Superman is who he says he is, like, is as good as he says he is. And then he's like, all right, bet. Actually, you end the movie, Batman doesn't join up. The end credits, they're talking, and Batman shows up like, yeah, what's up? Like, how the fuck did you get here? Like, yeah, I'm Batman, motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's what I do. And just end it. Like, the whole point, like, one of the best moments in that, like, Tower of Babel story when they did it on the animated series, where they're like, hey, why don't we have a vote about kicking out Batman? And he was like, well, let's have Batman, make his argument. He was like, I don't regret anything I did. And if you can't see that, I don't want to be in your group. Like, and they were like, oh, fuck. Like, that's who he's supposed to be. He's not supposed to be the guy who's like, let me join up with you guys. He's like, fuck you. I don't need y'all. Oh, I will beat y'all. And I'm just a regular nigga from Gotham. Like, that's his whole point. So you're right. I think that makes the most sense. And actually, if you did Reeves Batman, like, you would give him time to be established in that universe. And then at the very end, they're like, hey, man, like, you want to come on? He's like, all right.
Yeah. After, like, the third Matt Reeves Batman movie, right?
You could pick a new actor if you wanted to.
You could pick a new actor. You could keep going. You could keep going. Like, at the end of the second Matt Reeves Batman movie, in The Stinger, Superman can approach him. And he can be like, we can do that whole, like, who are you? Right?
Right.
And it's just, I've been watching you. You've been watching me. What the fuck you mean you've been watching me? Right? and then you can have your your BVS type movie, but like done well.
I don't need them to fight each other. That did not need to happen.
I don't need them to fight each other. I just need them to be like, stay out of my way and stay, and Superman, like, insisting on helping because that's who he is, right? Like, Superman doesn't want to fight people who are doing good,
right?
You know what I mean? Like what?
That never made sense. They just wanted that fight because it's a very famous comic book fight. They didn't want to do it because it made sense. Snyder was like, have you seen this comic? It's, oh shit, he in a robot suit, yo. Like, that's all it was. That's all it was. Like, it narratively made no sense.
Those two, you should want to see those two fight because they have a clash of ideologies naturally, right? But they both believe in something. They just don't agree on the means of doing it. And that should be something that is built up and built up and built up and built up to before you have a civil war. Like, look,
it's
man,
not hard, yo. It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's been done before, but like, so what? Like there are only 7 types of stories in the world, period. Right? Right. They say there are 7 different types of stories. They're all just like the plot is a little different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I have faith. I have faith in James Gunn. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I want to love these DC movies, man. I really do. I want a Green Lantern movie that just makes me fucking jump out of my chair. I want a Superman movie to make me cry. Like I want these movies to be good, man. And they're just mediocre.
Well, Andy Muschietti, who did It in It Chapter 2, he says that he's interested in directing a Superman movie in the vein of like the Richard Donner films. Like a hopeful, obviously probably a lot less goofy, but hopeful and like, bright and stuff like that. Yeah. Why is that hard to understand? Like, you've got Batman. You can have a dark and gloomy character. Like, that's the whole point.
Because Superman Returns happened and people didn't think it was the best thing ever.
Oh, it was not good.
That's why people, but that was, what's his name? The pedophile director. That was his intent, was to make a Richard Donner style movie. What is his name?
Bryan Singer.
Yeah, Bryan Singer. That was his homage to a Richard Donner-esque Superman. And I can see flashes of it.
Yeah, of course.
But then it's like, Superman's got a kid who just threw a piano at somebody. And
that shit was really bad. God, that was, there's a kryptonite island. Oh, I'm sad. Shut up. The best part of that entire movie was that plane scene. And they put that in the trailer and everyone was like, this movie's going to be great. And then I saw it and I was like, that scene was awesome. And the rest of it was garbage. All of it was garbage. A boring ass movie that was.
Also, yeah, that's what you need more of, man. You need Superman like doing some super heroic saving, yo. Like, Superman is more than just punching people, yo. Like he's helping people. You should see, there should be a scene in one of these movies where Superman talks someone who's about to commit suicide off a ledge.
That's a very famous comic book scene. Yeah.
Right, because that's what Superman is supposed to be.
And people who've never read comics would be like, this is too woke. Why is Superman helping suicide victims? Like, okay. This was a throw the kid into the sun? What are you talking about? Like, yeet. Don't need it. You want to die? That's fine. That's Zack Snyder Superman would have just killed the kid. Like, fine.
That's what libertarian Superman is. I mean, look, I mean, you do what you want to do. It's your body. You do what you want. If you want to kill yourself, go kill yourself.
I mean, I'm not going to help you, but I'm not like is the Batman moment from Batman Begins. I'm not gonna save you.
Kill you. I'm not gonna save you.
Like, I'm out. Like, hey, come back here. Like, objectivism. Woo. Let's see you later. Like, no, that could be a Batman thing. That does not work for Superman. His whole thing is not being an objectivist. But yeah, so best of luck with all that. But yeah, so Patty Jenkins is out. She refuses to take any notes from anybody. Look, after I made Wonder Woman 1984, I'm not sure I would be standing on some high horse about not taking notes, my nigga. Like, I think you need all the notes. But cool. Best of luck.
I'm watching this Wonder Woman 84 roadway scene.
Nigga, this scene is...
You're putting everyone in your self in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone.
Where is it?
Like,
you're looking at it.
Like, I'm not trying to make fun of this woman's voice, right? Because, like, she sounds how she sounds.
It's awful.
Her delivery, her cadence.
Yeah, how did they go from that first movie to this? But then, I rewatched the village fight scene in the first movie, right? where she's like, she fucking knocks the bell tower out like it's just a giant tank, right? You know why that scene's good? It's the same reason that the third act is bad. That action sequence is done by Zack Snyder, and you can tell. But like, they left it during the day. Like, he can shoot action, and the action looks good, but given an opportunity to do any like level of like weirdo storytelling in the end, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, that scene looks good because he did it, or he was very, very heavily influencing that scene. I would like, if they're going to get rid of Patty Jenkins, do you want to keep Gal Gadot, or do you or Gadot, or would you want to see her recast? Terrence,
No.
Terrence,
I'm reminded of something that
say something nice.
Say
something nice.
I'm reminded of
She
something
looks the
I
part.
saw on Facebook from our friend Brandon. He said he posted a link to the story and said Gal Gadot. And that's what I want.
Oh,
So shout out to Brandon. Gal Gadot is what I want.
I would love
She
for her
looks-
to.
she looks
I would
the
love for her to
part,
be
is
recast.
all I'll say. That's about it.
Look the part. I mean, look. Technically, if I
Action.
put on a Wonder Woman outfit, I look the part, right? Like she don't.
You don't have the legs for
I
that.
don't look.
Knock it off.
I do have the legs for it. I don't have the arms for it. I got the massive.
She
My
don't have the
legs are
arms
bigger
for it, my
than
nigga.
my-
What are you talking about? She don't have the arms for it. Can we just like? I hope that Gunn has learned one major lesson from part of the MCU, one of the newest parts of the MCU. Natalie Portman in Thor: Love and Thunder looked like a woman with superpowers. Can we just? Why is it so wrong? What's the name had this issue too? Christopher Nolan had this issue too. It's okay to show women with muscle. Why are you so against that? Stop picking runway models to play a woman who can throw a tank. It looks ridiculous. She doesn't have to look like a 300-pound power lifter. She doesn't have to look like the Russian woman from Kick-Ass 2. I'm not asking for that. That lady looked crazy. But like, yo, let her put on some showable muscle. It's okay. Like, you don't have to keep picking these like rail thin white women. It's so annoying to me. God damn. Like you were saying yesterday, just pick somebody with capped shoulders, for God's sake.
That's
something.
it. That's all you need, yo. You don't have to be like super toned. You don't have to have abs and shit.
No,
Like,
you
can
really
just
don't, yo.
You can wear your suit. You just pick somebody with some capped shoulders, and that's it. That's all you really need. You know
Somebody
what I mean?
looks like
And
they
women.
lift weights,
Women
yeah.
generally, women in general have they can define their legs. It's easier for them to define their legs than it is like men. That's just
And they have better
genetics.
lower
Like,
body strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, they do. They have better lower body strength. So if you find a woman with capped shoulders, like just do some of these, right? Just do some shoulder presses.
Some of these.
and then just do some of these, right? Just do some fucking air squats or something. And yeah, that's it. That's all you
That's all
need.
you gotta do, man. She doesn't have to look like a massive bodybuilder, but it would be nice to see somebody who actually, like next to Cavill and Affleck, looks like a person who could like rumble with them, not like hello everyone. Like it looks silly, yo. It just looks silly. And I hate the silly argument of, well, she's a demigod, so she doesn't have to look like that. Yo, look at the comics, my nigga. Just look at the comics, yo. They've never drawn her without muscle mass. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, Superman's an alien. He doesn't have to be jacked, but that's what he looks like. Don't take the role if you don't want to look like that. Fucking the dude from Iron Fist. I just want to look like a yoga trainer. Shut up. Yo, shut up.
Yo, you're a martial artist, the living weapon.
You're
What
right.
the fuck? ain't nobody been afraid of a yoga mat, yo. like, come on, man.
Yo, you're supposed to have you don't have a single striation in your muscles. Yo. Like, come on, yo. What are you doing? He's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna wear a zherga and I'll be fine. Like, nah, fuck out of here. Like, look like the character. You don't have to look. Look, I'm gonna say this, and maybe it's a little unfair. I'm gonna need whoever plays Wonder Woman to get on the juice, just like all the rest of these niggas. All right, like, step on the gas. Step on the gas a little bit. Knock it off. Knock it off. You think Henry Cavill is out there just eating tuna fish? Knock it off. They're all on drugs. It's fine. I don't care. And I thought Zack Snyder, of all people, was going to do it right because every one of the Amazons he picked, they're all on juice too. Like, get out of here.
Well, like you said, that's probably like a studio thing, right? Like, we need this particular woman, and you can't tell somebody to,
juice.
To get on the juice.
Nah, yo, yes they can. What? You think all those other dudes in all those other movies? Nah, yo, that's a part of the contract. Article 5 says this is a juice clause. Sign you want it.
I think all those dudes.
Trailer,
What's that?
I think all those
Adam Warlock in the
dudes.
trailer.
Yeah, dude. You
Guardians
see
of
how
the
big
Galaxy?
he is?
How big he fucking is? No.
I think all those dudes are dudes, and dudes want to be bigger.
Nah, yo. Well, except for The Rock. We all know he's natural.
Yeah, he's 100% natural. Right.
He's bigger than he was when he was in his 20s. Shut up.
It's like, nigga, I'm
You just
40.
eat a
I
bunch of
remember
liver,
when you
right?
first came into the WWF, nigga.
You did not look like that.
Yeah,
Like you were in your 20s.
he had
Shut up,
titties
Rock.
back then, yo.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Like you had to get those things removed.
Yeah, he did.
Like you're supposed to get smaller as you age.
Not him.
Not smaller, but like, yeah, you're supposed to lose that definition as you get older, not gain it. You have Samoan. I ain't never seen a Samoan look like that nigga before in my life.
Quite the opposite.
Nope.
They all look like fucking Samoa Joe.
Yeah, for the most part.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
And I'm not mad at that. That's
Like,
okay.
they're really fucking incredibly powerful individuals, but like, they don't have muscle definition.
And look, here's the thing.
Roman Reigns, he's a big dude. He don't have no
He's
muscle
a big
definition.
dude. He don't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have.
Right.
He's built like the Rock.
A
Used to be.
Samoan.
He's built like a
That's what
fucking
he's
tank. Yeah, he's built like a tank. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be hyper shredded or anything like that. But again, like, just stop. I wish Hollywood would knock that shit off. Look, I spend enough time on Instagram. The women who look like the Amazons, they have thousands of comments under them. Very positive. Trust me, men will be fine. They will happily go see that movie with a woman who is very fit. They will. So just knock it off. You don't have to keep picking runway models. It's dumb. So yeah, look, I am hopeful that DC is kind of getting shit together. But yeah, this whole Wonder Woman thing, Warner Brothers Film Group co-chairpersons Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, those are the ones who rejected that script for Wonder Woman 3, by the way. It was not James Gunn and Peter Safran. There's a whole article in the Wrap about that. They were like, nah. They were like, get this the fuck out of here. And she was like, well, no notes. And they were like, go home. Go home. They even told her, they were like, you can submit another treatment. She was like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm out. Like, okay. That's your choice. So we'll see. Look, she also, by the way, here's how you know Patty Jenkins is kind of an asshole. She's like, she according to one insider, Jenkins refused to let DeLuca and Abdi, quote, she refused and then let them know that they were wrong, and that they didn't understand her, didn't understand the character, didn't understand character arcs, and didn't understand what Jenkins was trying to do. To underscore her point, according to the first insider, Jenkins sent an email to DeLuca that ended with a link to a Wikipedia definition of character arc.
Jesus.
What was Diana's character arc in '84? Because she still wanted to fuck that dude from fucking 100 years ago. So
Yeah, she was
what
still
was the
pining.
character arc?
She was sad.
Yeah, she was still pining for fucking Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sadness, Terrence. Sadness.
Right. So all of a sudden, in what year would this have taken place? In the 90s?
I guess. I don't know. Like,
What changed?
I think their first mistake was by making it in 1984. They should have just moved it into the modern era. Like the second movie, first one, fine. That makes sense of her Captain America-esque thing. Second movie is in the modern era. Why are you doing another past film? Like, for what? What are these, the X-Men movies? Like, every year, every time we'll go up 10 years. No, just fucking move it into the modern era, you dumb fuck. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, Jenkins especially didn't want to hear what newly installed DC chiefs Gunn and Safran had to say, even though they had nothing to do with the decision to move forward with her version of Wonder Woman 3. So don't go out there saying that this was a Gunn decision or a Safran decision. It was not. She didn't even want to hear from them.
Right, even though James Gunn made people give a fuck about a tree and a raccoon, but fuck me, right? Even if they didn't, I mean, they didn't even give her like any kind of pointers or anything like that. She was just like, "I know what I'm talking about." He could have easily said, like, "I think I know what I'm doing."
Yeah, like you want to talk about character arcs, like. Right. Nigga, did you watch Peacemaker? Like, did you watch Guardians of the Galaxy? Those movies are all about characters and their arcs. That is the fundamental of what those characters or those movies are. Sorry. Suicide Squad.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to do the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Make you
cry in the goddamn theater.
They gonna kill a raccoon,
cry over animals, yo. Over animals. And not even like...
No, not even animals. A raccoon.
Right, a raccoon, yo. Like, nah, yo. Nah, raccoons are horrific little beasts, yo. That video you posted the other day, hilarious. Jesus Christ, that was hilarious. Wild.
No, not according to our former Senate candidate, Herschel Walker. He was like, they call me a coon. I'm from the farm. A coon is one of the smartest animals out there. I'm like, please don't say that as a black man. Like, don't do that.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's an idiot.
It's not even funny at this point. Like it is
to me.
It is to me. Our long national nightmare is over. So, okay, there you go, man. DC is, or at least I think the Snyderverse is done and dusted, which is great. It's going to be interesting because they're. On Twitter, apparently, they some folks from the cult got the hashtag Fire James Gunn to trend. Hey guys. That's not going to work anymore. Like, all this hashtag shit has no power here anymore. These are real adults. Like, they're not going to just do a movie or cast a person because you said so. No. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're in a cult, so shut up.
That cult lost them so much money last time.
$100 million, yo. $100 million. You dumbass. All right, what the fuck brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Micah, take it away.
A man claims he's now making 22,000 local currency a month by selling burps in a jar and sending them to people in his used socks.
Nah, this is Japan, yo. This is Japan. you got to knock it off. Is this Japan?
It is not Japan. Terrence, do you have
what
a guess?
Was it again? You said burps in a jar in his used socks?
He says his life changed since he started fulfilling people's fetishes online, and his family is fully behind him. Previously, he made $1,300 a month. Previously, he made $1,300 a month working in supermarkets and had maxed out his credit cards when he decided to turn to an online career. This person said, the list is endless when it comes to strange requests. One guy wanted me to gulp down a bottle of Coca-Cola, burp in a jar, seal it, and then post it to him.
What?
Yo, this is a wild OnlyFans, yo. This is a super wild.
His first foray into fetishes came in 2018, but he didn't start taking it seriously until November 2019 when he quit his job. After seeing the subscribers increase over time, he started posting more regularly, and now he has a studio dedicated to his craft. People ask him for his bathwater, his used underwear, and old shoes.
This is a dude.
Yeah. This is a guy. I mean, whatever gets you hard, I guess. I made the decision to quit retail in November 2019 due to my mental health. This person's 25, by the way.
Okay.
I mean,
I'd worked in retail all my life, and it gotten to the point where I had
all my life. What is that? 6 years?
6 years? What are you talking about?
Yo, shut up, yo. God damn. All right, we got it.
I converted my spare bedroom.
Don't say it,
into a
Terrence. I know what you're thinking. Don't say it.
I don't know what I don't think you know what I'm thinking at all.
I bet.
Where do you think this is from, Terrence?
San Francisco.
No, he is. He looks like he's from San Francisco, but no, this is in London. This man is named Curtis Gibbs.
That was going to be my second guess.
Yeah, he's from Wolverhampton, wherever Wolverhampton is. And yeah, he's oof.
Oh, fuck this nigga. I'm looking at his. You know what? Clothes. I don't even want to see his face.
I mean, you talk about douchey pictures. Talk about douchey pictures, man. Good
I don't.
Lord.
Yeah, that picture just made me upset. I didn't like it.
Well, the rest of them ain't good either.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even gonna look because I don't need to. I just saw that one.
I've been working all my life. Relax. Oh, come on, yo. All right. Come on, yo. Come on. Wow. Now this is the guy I want to play James Bond. This is the guy.
You look like Paperboy.
When I was
like a white paper
yo,
boy?
he does kind of look like a white paper boy. He does.
This dude's
when I was growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money. I effectively came from a council house with low income, and now I can go on holidays and buy designer brands. I never forget my roots or where I came from, so I count my blessings every day. Really, I was in a lot of debt with maxed out credit cards, loans to pay off. I was about $5,000 in debt, so working full time to have money for bills and travel work. No matter what job, I threw myself into it like I didn't have much disposable income left, and felt like I didn't have much disposable income left. I'm proof that you can have a chubby belly and chest hair in this line of work. I'm not focused on tirelessly. Yeah, it's called being a bear. I'm not focused on tirelessly working in retail, and I get to have my own time, work when I want to, and focus on my mental stability. With all of my hard years of
working at Kenny's shoes or whatever,
being 25 years old. Yeah, this person is selling burps in a jar. So,
I mean, it's good work if you can get it.
I'm gonna say,
yeah, man, kinks are wild, man. Kinks are wild.
Like, does anybody want to buy my farts in a jar? Because I'll sell it to you.
Right, if you want them, you know.
Like half the price this dude is selling it for. Half. I would love to retire on farts in a jar alone. That sounds awesome. The fuck out of here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Oh God.
Oh, dudes are crazy.
Yeah,
because it's clearly like gay men, right? That want his farts in a jar or his burps in his bath water.
I would think so.
I can't imagine there'd be women that want like dirty bath water because that seems like some dude shit.
Yeah, it's definitely
some dude shit. That's some dude shit. Like straight or gay, dudes, creepy dudes want like
fucking weird.
Your bath water.
Yeah, that just makes me vomit. That makes me gag a little bit. Like ew. Ugh.
What do you think people do with that bathwater?
I don't want to know.
Yo, they drink it. They drink it. They're
yo,
nasty.
Shut up.
They're nasty. Yo, they drink it.
Yo. My stomach turned. Yo.
Oh shit!
I don't like it
because you can't refrigerate that, right? Like you don't refrigerate
it. What you refrigerate it for? Right? Nah, you just take a sip from time to time. You know like.
Shut the fuck up, yo!
Because you don't want to kill all the pheromones and all that, all the juices in it, right? Like, so you just drink it. You just drink lukewarm bath water.
Yeah, no, that sounds. I'm telling you, that's what's happening.
Like, it's a wonder that the species is able to survive when a portion of half of it is like. I'll drink your bath water and think like, oh, that turns me on. Like that'll get me to sleep with this dude.
Is this
because
why?
He wants to drink my bath water.
Like this is why the manosphere exists. Like these dudes are like, I can't find a woman. Stop buying her farts, my dude. Like go talk to these people, in real life. Stop buying farts on the internet. If I could give you one bit of dating advice, like, just stop.
This is
disgusting. Yeah, it's bonkers. Yeah, this is bonkers.
One guy wanted him to gulp down a bottle of Coca-Cola, burp into a jar, and send it to him.
Yo, how do you even know he did it, yo? How do you even know? Yo, he just sent you an empty jar. By the way, I'm gonna tell you right now, here's my scam. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm just sending you empty jars and bags of shit.
I'm just sending you empty fucking mason jars.
Yeah, I'm just drop shipping you empty mason jars from Amazon, yo. Like I'm not sending any of my potential DNA to you. No, knock it off. No. That's ridiculous. Wow. All right, Terrence, you're up.
Doctors find maggots in a patient's ear after he complained of earaches.
Cool.
Man found out, to his surprise, that flesh-eating maggots were living in his ear canal after he began experiencing earaches. 64-year-old went to the doctors complaining of itching, bleeding, and pain in one of his ear canals and ended up being hospitalized. He let the doctors physically examine him, and they discovered his ear canal was being obstructed by numerous motile larvae. Anybody want to guess?
India.
Because I don't want to read. Micah?
Yeah, that was going to be mine. Let's see, maggots in the ear. So you're probably sleeping on the floor. What place has a bunch of garbage on the floor?
I mean, it could
Baltimore.
be a fucking Baltimore.
I mean, it's not a bad choice. It's not a bad guess.
Oh, fucking Christ almighty. Portugal.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the gross. And there's a video, apparently.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I ain't watching that.
Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just turning on, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so, the nigga had maggots in his ears in Portugal.
Nope.
Ew.
Yeah, that's a big NO for me, my man. No, thank you. All right. Can we please move on? Fucking gross. I did like your level of detective reasoning there. Where are people laying on the floor with a bunch of garbage? That's not right, man. That's not right. Skinny woman, and I didn't say skinny. The article says that. Skinny woman breaks 4 of her ribs while coughing. See, this is why you need to have more muscle mass. Young woman.
That's why you need to be fat.
Yeah. You haven't read the studies I've read. Still one of the funniest clips of all time. A young woman recently ended up in a hospital with multiple broken ribs after a coughing fit caused when she was eating some food. If you've ever eaten something spicy, you already know that it can cause a bit of coughing. The woman told doctors that she was eating spicy food, and then she started coughing during a particularly strained cough. The young woman allegedly heard a sharp crack in her chest area, and immediately began to experience pain when breathing and trying to speak. Quote, at first, I thought I was having a stroke or something. I didn't expect it to hurt so badly. I couldn't even walk. Where do you think this happened?
A rib coughing.
Russia.
China.
Terrence is correct. A lot of thin ladies out there in China, I guess. Your ribs can be seen clearly under your skin. There's no muscle to support the bone, so it's easily for your ribs to be fractured when coughing. I guess. God damn. Is that common?
I'm about to say, I didn't know that was a thing because I can kind of see my ribs. I'm not the biggest nigga in the world, but
don't have a coughing fit.
Ribs coughing. What the fuck?
Yeah, don't have some spicy ramen and fuck your whole shit up. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Is there much you can do to protect yourself? I guess not. After hearing the woman's story about her coughing, doctors conducted a bone density test and everything came out normal. Upon examining the woman and conducting more tests, A thoracic surgeon concluded that the bone fractures had been caused by her, shocking news, poor musculature. Yeah, see? Lift weights, get on the sauce, just like all the dudes in the Marvel movies. See, The Rock is just protecting his bones, guys. That's all he's doing. He just doesn't want to break his ribs while coughing.
I feel like his bones were well protected back in the 90s, but that's just me.
Wow. I mean, they had a doughy cover around them, yes. Yeah, so make sure you have muscle so you don't just snap your shit up while coughing. That's crazy. That's really terrifying. 4 ribs, god damn.
How hard did she cough to break 4 fucking ribs?
Pow, pow, pow.
Right, it's like a
Jesus.
Goddamn shotgun.
Yeah, that had to hurt like shit too.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Like, end of this. Good lord. All right, trailers this week. First one up is for Treason. This is a sort of British spy double cross sort of limited series on Netflix. I think it comes out like next week or some shit like that.
Christmas.
Was it Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Starring Charlie Cox, obviously most famous for playing Daredevil. Yeah, I think this looks okay. Like, I'll probably check this out if it's not too many episodes. It was like 8.
I can't imagine this is going to be like really good, but I imagine that it will be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much faith with Netflix when it comes to like media. Like, I feel like
media?
Netflix just,
Like all of it?
just like media in general, just like all of it. Like because it's too much of a crapshoot.
You don't have Netflix anymore?
Crapshoot.
No, I don't. Like, if it's anything, if someone tells me something is good on Netflix, I'll find it, right? Because there's
Like,
way
all
too
the
much
stuff
trash.
Right. All the stuff that we talk about, we never say, "Oh, I saw this on Netflix." It's
Almost
always
never.
Hulu,
The last
HBO
couple
Max,
things has been Hulu, man. Yeah.
And Apple TV, honestly.
and Apple TV. Right. That's where all the prestige television and stuff goes. Right. Like, okay. Like the one thing that I'm looking forward to on Netflix is Glass Onion, because I hear Glass Onion is incredibly well done. But other than that, like, I can't remember the last time I used my Netflix account. So
Yeah, not really. Apparently people really like that Dahmer series. It's like one of 5 or 6 movies or 6 series that hit over 1 billion hours of viewership or something shit like that.
That's what they're good at. They're the damn History Channel of streaming services. And
Yeah.
like, I mean that's like, right. Like, they should lean more into what they're good at. And apparently what they're good at is documentaries. My wife is about to watch this Royals documentary with Meghan Markle and the other dude.
I'm not watching.
And yeah, I'm not. Well, she's a royalist. She loves that shit. But it's like, but I'm like, I saw the trailer. I'm like, but it's produced by them. So like,
like how honest is it really going to be?
Right. Like, it's made by the subject. The documentary is made by the subject of the documentary.
No, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. So the first point we want to make is, Harry is a beast in the sack. He's great. And Meghan Markle's the most beautiful woman ever. Like, who wrote this? We wrote it. Like, nah, just knock it off. No.
The last thing I saw on Netflix that they did was Killer Sally, which was a fucking documentary about this bodybuilder.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Was that any good?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Now, I do think Netflix, because we're going to talk about a movie that they're doing with Christian Bale, I do think Netflix has the ability to buy things and basically just be the distributor. What's that?
It was very good. All Quiet on the Western Front was very good.
Right, like they didn't make that movie. They're just distributing the movie, and I think that you also have to take that into account. Sometimes those things are really great. Like, we're going to talk about the Pale Blue Eye. That looks really good. That's not a Netflix movie. Like, you can tell. Like, that's not a Netflix movie.
Like Emily the Criminal is out on Netflix. I want to see that because everyone says it's really good. But like,
I don't even know
Netflix
what that is.
didn't make that movie. That's Aubrey Plaza plays.
Oh,
this woman
yeah.
who gets caught up in this scheme, and it's supposed to be really good. And but like they didn't make it, so I don't know. I just want to know how Netflix makes money. That's
They
it.
don't.
I just want to know how they make
don't.
money.
But they don't, though.
I just want to
But they
know,
don't.
how do you sustain yourself?
Get bought by somebody else pretty soon. No, that's how they're going to sustain themselves. Look, just sell your thing, take all your shit and move it into Apple TV or whoever buys it and just be done. Like, just be done. Because how they're working, it ain't working. So, okay. Yeah, Treason, it looks fine. I'll check it out. Again, if it's like 8, if it's more than 8 episodes, I'm not watching it. Like if they're an hour long and it's more than 8 episodes, I'm probably not going to watch it. Like, and 8 is already cuspy for me. Like, no. The Three Musketeers. This is the latest version of a Three Musketeers movie. This one's actually French. It's all in French. So they're actually trying to make it more in line with the original story and not ridiculous. I think it looks good. It looks cool. So yeah. We'll see.
Dr. Doom is in it, guys. Vincent Cassel.
I like that guy.
He is the model that the artist who did the end of the newer Secret Wars, when Dr. Doom gets unmasked, he based Dr. Doom's appearance on Vincent Cassel.
I wouldn't be mad if Vincent Cassel played Dr. Doom, honestly. He's a very good actor.
He is. He very much is. So there you go.
That's fine. Look, the history of the Three Musketeers in film is crazy. Like I like quite literally, there is an entry on Wikipedia just called "The Three Musketeers in Film." That's how many there's been. Since 1903, there's been one almost about every 2 to 3 years. There is a remake of this story. I think notably the Disney version in like 1993 with Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, and Chris O'Donnell and Tim Curry is probably my favorite. Kiefer Sutherland as a fucking musketeer was hilarious. The worst one I think has got to be, and I've never seen it, but just going by the trailer, it's got to be the Paul W.S. Anderson one. With Ray Stevens, Luke Evans, and Christoph Waltz, Mad Mikkelsen, Orlando Bloom, Mila Jovovich, and Matthew McFadden, and Logan Lerman. No.
So I got to hear that movie. I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a reimagining with airships and the like, you know.
Yeah. Were they in the original story, Micah? You're like
airships?
Yeah,
airships? No, not at all. There were no zeppelins in 1800s. No fire, no zeppelins with flamethrowers on them.
Dirigibles
in 1844. So, Paul W.S. Anderson was like, fuck this original story. Like, I'm just gonna make this shit crazy. That's one of the wildest trailers I've ever seen. And then in 2001, The Musketeer, which was in the style of Asian action movies, was actually pretty cool. I actually like that one. Michael, what were you saying? The Man in the Iron Mask. That's another Three Musketeers story. That one with DiCaprio. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, oh, by the way, here's a little note. I sort of mentioned this offline. Here's a little note. In 2004, there was a musical called Three Musketeers. The musical version, all the Musketeers were women. And you know who was in that movie, ironically? Volodymyr Zelensky, the current president of Ukraine, who is fighting a war against Russia. He was in that movie.
Yeah, he was a comedian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played his last role, I think, before he became the president, is he played a comedian who became the president of Ukraine. And people liked it so much, they voted for him to become the president of Ukraine, which apparently the Ukrainians have no sense of humor. They were like, nah, make that for real. Okay. But it turns out he's like a pretty good president. So, yeah, he's right now. I'm looking at he is on the cover of the Ukrainian version of the Three Musketeers. The woke version, I believe, is what the young incels would call that. So, yeah, all right, there you go. That's fucking wild. It's wild to think that guy is like a military hero in what's in this movie.
Right. The Jim Carrey of Ukraine is a goddamn war hero.
Right, like that's Jim Carrey being elected to president of the United States and then going to war with China, and he's like wow, we're taking Jim Carrey, the guy who talked out of his ass. We're taking that guy seriously. Like, all right, he's our leader now. Like, okay.
Oh wow, he's younger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's a pretty young guy.
44.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right.
Next up, The Pale Blue Eye. This is on Netflix. Again, not made by Netflix, obviously. Starring Christian Bale. This is based on a book, but the idea is that it's like an old timey story where this detective is brought in to solve a murder of one of the cadets at like West Point in like what appears to be like the 17 or 1800s. This looks very, very good. Very good. And it's directed by Scott Cooper, who I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, it looks interesting, man. I'm trying to figure out what Scott Cooper
That's what I'm
has done. Crazy Heart, Out of the Furnace, Black Mass, Hostiles.
Oh, he did Antlers. Okay. That's the one I've heard of. Yeah. It's an A24 film, I believe.
So, I mean, look, it looks good. Like a creepy detective story.
I saw Black Mass. Yeah, Black Mass was good. The story about Whitey Bulger with Johnny Depp. Yeah, that was good. Really good. Yeah, he was creepy as fuck in that movie. Like he looked wild. Black Mass was good.
Like, he really likes Christian Bale. He's been in 3 of his fucking movies.
There you go.
Out of the Furnace, Hostels. Did I see Hostels? No, I didn't see Hostels. I remember the trailer for Hostels. Never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen that one either. Black Mass is the only one of his stuff I've seen. Okay. Yeah, this definitely looks like a very creepy detective story. I think you're right. Micah, you're a big detective story guy. Is this you seeing this?
Yeah, I'll watch this. It looks good.
What are your thoughts, Terrence?
Yeah, it looks good. This movie and Infinity Pool are the 2 that I'm most interested in.
Nigga, there's something wrong in the Cronenberg household, Like, they have like lead poisoning or something. There's something fucked up about those people. Shit ain't right over there. Next up, Infinity Pool, directed by Brian Cronenberg, right? Is it Brian?
Yeah.
Who did Possessor? Brandon. Who directed Possessor? And if you haven't seen Possessor, you fucking should.
Have you both seen Possessor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me wishes I hadn't.
That wasn't as like horrific as I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean?
I don't know. The part where he beat up like his stepdad, Sean Bean, you don't remember that scene?
Yeah, like that's not
what the
like
fuck?
That's just like all right. I've seen people beat each other up. When I'm talking about body horror, I'm talking about this shit in Infinity Pool, right? Like I want weird shit to happen.
I mean, Possessor was definitely more psychologically fucked up.
Yeah. But I want like weird shit to happen to your body. Like,
have you seen Crimes of
I want to, but I
don't.
don't.
Yeah,
I really want to.
It's on Hulu, nigga. You can. Don't bitch out. It's right there.
It's there. Yeah, you can stream it right now, right after the show, nigga.
Yeah, stop being a bitch. He ain't gonna watch it.
Guess what? It's daytime. I'll watch it.
Open all the blinds. I'm literally afraid to watch that movie. Like I feel
it's just gross. It's not scary.
But like that bothers me. Like I feel like you only have so many layers of your soul left, and I feel like David Cronenberg is trying to take all of them. I don't care for it. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I want gross. That's the word I'm looking for. I want gross when it comes to body. You know what I mean? Like The Fly wasn't scary. It was really fucking
It's just gross, man. It's just real gross. Now, Cronenberg he's a master, and apparently he passed on whatever the fuck is going on in his brain right down to his son. God damn. But this looks.
What the fuck is the household like, man?
Yeah, like, yo, what do y'all do for family night, my nigga? He's like, turn on The Fly again. Fucking come on, Dad. I'm 3. Like, knock it off. You need to watch this. He's like my dad with Westerns. Like, you need to come and see this good film. He's like, yeah, you need to go see Eyes Wide Shut. Yo, I'm in elementary school, my dude. Like, knock it off. Yeah, so the point of this is Alex Skarsgård is once again a fucking weirdo. He really likes being in movies like this too, which I think is weird. The log line here is what's that?
His brother's the weird one, right?
Yeah, the one from It. Is it Bill Skarsgård?
It's Bill Skarsgård. This is Alexander.
Yeah, but this is Alexander Skarsgård, right? This is Eric from True Blood. While staying on an isolated island resort, James, played by Skarsgård, and M, played by Cleopatra Coleman, are enjoying a perfect vacation of pristine beaches, exceptional staff, and soaking up the sun. So it's like White Lotus. But guided by a seductive and mysterious Gabby, played by Mia Goth, they venture outside the resort, mistake, and find themselves in a culture filled with violence, hedonism, and untold horror. A tragic accident leaves them facing a zero-tolerance policy for crime. Either you'll be executed, or if you're rich enough to afford it, you can watch yourself die instead.
It's fucking nuts.
I don't want it. I'm going to watch it. Because I love Possessor, but this is going to be twisted as fuck, man. It is. God damn it. What is your problem, Cronenbergs? Yeah, I'm here for it. I really enjoyed Possessor. It was fucked up. It's the only movie Sean Bean didn't die in, but I bet his character wish he was dead. Is having a fireplace poker jab through your jaw or into your mouth is pretty awful. Lastly, the full trailer for Last of Us, the HBO series. Starring Pedro Pascal and I forget the young lady's name, but Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones. I think it looks good. I've never played those games, so I don't have any hate for this franchise like a lot of people seem to.
It's not that people hate the franchise. It's that it's overrated. It's like people are talking about it like
the video game industry.
Yeah, it's just overrated.
Yeah.
Isn't there only 2 games?
Yeah.
There's 2 games, but they've made the first one like 9 times.
Oh. It was the first one, and then they remastered it, and then they ported the remaster, and then they did the second one, and then they remade the original, and it's essentially The Walking Dead. It's essentially like if you want to break it down, there's a virus that's infecting people. Instead of turning into traditional zombies, they turn into like clickers. Yeah. So they basically just have like a bunch of fungus growing out of their head, but the zombies aren't the actual threat. Like the point of it is the interactions between the different tribes of humans, and the zombie thing is just a framing device to try and get the plot moving. Right. It's not a bad story. It's an okay game, right? Like it's not a bad game. It's full of polish, but like I get it. And this, unfortunately, for people who have played the game, this looks like a beat for beat like recreation of the game with the same story. So I'm not same like those the first game. So there's really no point in me watching it because I did not like the ending of the first game. so much so that I refused to play the second game.
Wow.
Because like the ending of the first game just really pissed me off.
Well, I'll watch it because I don't know jack shit about what happened. Well, I know the ending, but I'll watch it to see. Look, here's the thing that gets me interested in this is that it's done by the guy who created Chernobyl. And if you've never seen Chernobyl, you should. It's excellent. But that's my number one reason. I am very much done with zombie shit. I think The Walking Dead ruined the entire genre because it was garbage, and for some reason it's still on television. I think I don't know. There's like 12 spinoffs.
Well, the actual series finale was like 2.5. It was like 3 weeks ago.
But isn't there like Fear the Walking Dead? Isn't all that shit still on?
Yeah. There's spinoffs. There's going to be spinoffs with fucking what's his name?
Daryl?
The main character who's what's his name? The nigga that didn't lose his hand that she got mad about.
Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Him and I believe what's her name? The other. Guerrero. I don't know their names in the show anymore. It's so long.
I don't even remember.
Michonne and Rick.
Coral?
Rick.
Coral? Is that his name? Coral.
That's the son. That's the son.
His son is dead.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Shrug.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's going to be a spinoff with those two. Because of course.
All right. I don't care about any of that. I think that literally single-handedly just ruined that fucking genre. It did.
She was on for 11 fucking seasons. That's
insane. I
insane.
watched a clip from like a recent episode. I was like, who the fuck is still watching this show? Who is still watching it? Like, no, it's good though. No, it isn't.
My mother. She watches trash.
No offense. That should tell you everything you need to know about that show.
No, look, it's reached the like CBS crowd.
Right. Not because it's your mother. It's because it's reached.
No,
it's somebody's mother. It's somebody's mother.
I went over to my sister's house, and like on the TV downstairs in the basement, I turned the TV on to watch something, and the first thing that popped up was like she was halfway through an episode of NCIS. I was like, Jesus Christ, there's so much better television. What are you doing?
Do better. I'm disappointed in you. As your son.
NCIS, what the fuck is going on here? Stop it.
That's one barometer. The other major barometer that I use, that it's like when this stuff starts referencing things, it's over. I need to stop watching it. Is professional wrestling. When professional wrestlers say shit like it's time to catch these hands, not even catch these hands. It's time to get these hands. No, it's over. That line is over.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
One wrestler went on and said, "This is mid. This is mid. Well, guess what? That's over.
Yeah,
that's done.
Yeah, it's like when white people are like, "Are you guys ready to raise the roof? All right, we're done with that. Please stop. Please stop. You
there it is. Nope."
Nope, there it isn't. I'm very much done. Thank you. All right, that is it for us. We have one more episode before the end of the year next week. So we'll be back then, and then that is going to be us for the end of the year. We'll take our normal 2-week break, and then we'll see you guys back in January. So we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.